I'll just name him Stueck. It's fine.
Go ahead.
Well, our match ended with banishing the singing barrel.
Fair enough. And now,
Playing myself.
okay. So mysterious disappearance is gone. Oh boy, this is gonna be impossible to keep track of.
It's okay, I think we can just switch for the match now and continue next.
Yeah, let's do that. So, the question is who, because this got moved, who is, like, what's the current match standing?
We can ask Cheese, he might answer.
Sure. Because clearly these guys have already played one game, so, or at least one game. So, someone's got to win.
Okay, Tempest, maybe we'll get some chaos control after all.
Could be, certainly. Then again, there are certainly lots of ways to build Tempest.
Indeed. Maybe it's BRB with Tempest, because that's my favorite flavor of BRB.
That would be nice to see. I mean, I'm sure you'd be able to tell us everything going on behind the scenes then.
Okay.
I saw a hand with a fair amount of pink in it there. Breakdown, a couple of berry punches.
Yeah, there
A
was
little bit
also
orange
some
too, but I
orange.
didn't quite catch which cards.
I think he had some entry. Okay, I see Mim. Yeah, it looks like Chaos Control. I see Factory Jack, I see Grubber. I see a stick. Mimics. Okay, I think we're finally getting Chaos Control. I really
A
hope.
stick, and a paper twine, a grubber, and a factory jack. I mean, it doesn't look different from Chaos Control yet. Mimics. The funny thing is, I've seen 4 cards, and I still can't tell you which Tempest deck it is, because those are kind of in all the Tempest decks still.
So this is exactly what we wanted, kinda. We wanted to see how Lyra performs against the control deck, and
Well, yeah,
Chaos Control or not, this is definitely a control deck.
that is for sure. And we'll see how that deck plays if, theoretically, say, those follow my leads around the bottom of the deck, and he doesn't get to super abuse his apple blooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just disgusting. It's like... Ooh. It's like getting 3 covers to covers early on.
Well, yeah, like I say, it's build your own better Cloud Chaser. It's impressive.
So what does that? Okay, he flips.
He's just doing the usual thing. Fair enough.
For a
Searches for
grubber?
a Troublemaker? Probably.
I see Trixie. I don't think Chaos Control runs Trixie.
You're right, I don't believe it does. That would make this a more traditional control deck then.
But I see some, like, I saw Tender types, I believe. And he gets a Trixie out. Very interesting.
Trixie first. Yeah, that is interesting. He does have a grubber in hand. So he's probably hoping on playing that soon.
Maybe he thinks that he's going to flip Lyra and he wants to see more more of the hand.
It's possible.
Because if he flips Lyra, the grubber doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. He probably wants to put grubber out after Lyra's flipped. Good call. Haven Bay first.
At home.
Yeah, intends to move that next turn to get a draw on a counter, I assume. Yeah, so then one for Mimics right now, if he's going to save his grubber till later.
Factory Jack.
Well, yes, that works too.
And Mimics. I think that's Mimics.
Yeah. Well.
So what do you name against Orange Pink on Mimics? Probably events.
Generally, yeah, it's events unless you know that there's resources to be worried about, and there's not much for resources. I mean, in theory, I think he's seen this deck list, so he knows that honestly, neither events nor resources are particularly scary. But there are bailouts at least.
Mm-hmm. And berry flops. But it mostly runs on friends. I wonder why he plays all the friends at home. Is he afraid that's another Trixie? Like, if I was on place of the Lyre player, I would definitely think that that's a grubber, because he found Trixie in his deck and not a grubber, and then the next turn he plays a face down Troublemaker. That must be a grubber.
Yeah, well, it's certainly not a villain because he played his Factory Jack there, regardless.
Mm-hmm. I think he just passed.
He did.
And there's Mimics. I see cover to cover in hand. And Doctor Who's. Yeah, it's probably some homebrew version of Chaos Control.
Slightly modified version, yeah. In any event, he's got that rolling. Although, if I were him, I would certainly be a little bit cautious with the Factory Jack. I mean, our Lyra player, I believe, does have a breakdown in hand.
Yeah. When you see pink orange, you should expect breakdowns.
And Factory Jack is a card that you can protect if you only exhaust it when you want to.
Okay, he's going to use hooves. He gets Fernando, very lucky. He has stick in hand, so basically this becomes a remove for one.
Yeah. So long as hooves sticks around, it's probably, we know that breakdown exists. It's probably hooves that's going to go now.
There is a little paper naming events.
Good for him. Yeah. So it will be events. It depends. If you're live right here, like obviously, I think you are probably gonna play breakdown. The question is,
Does he have one?
oh, I thought he did.
When he showed his hand, I think he mulliganed it later.
Oh, I see. Okay, well that's different then.
I see belly flop, but he can't quite play that. He can, but that's gonna be so expensive. Okay, I think he wants to draw a card.
Banishing, big roof back end. Yep, that works.
There's the breakdown.
Right. So do you hit hooves or factory jack?
I think hooves, especially since okay, we know that it's Fernando, but he doesn't. So
Yeah, that's the thing, and he does hit factory jack.
they're dancing.
So, yeah, breakdown is gonna probably go away next turn, as we know. It's gonna be
Fernando.
stick and hooves and Fernando, and yeah.
Motivational speech.
Which means this game is likely going to come down to who can get ahead in the removal war.
So the thing is that now that he basically has targeted removal for 180 every turn, I don't think Lyra can really outpace him in removal. By the time he can do that, he will probably find tender taps.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be that.
He can still, like, if he draws into another breakdown, he can get rid of hooves this turn. And then the Fernando isn't going to come back, at least, or at least not right away.
And he does have another breakdown in his hand right now.
Well, good for him.
So this match is 4th versus 13th.
I see. Cheese. Okay. And he does.
So yeah, this makes this interesting. And he got follow my lead, which lets him do that. He also has bait and switch, which is really helpful in this situation. Because if he bait and switches next turn, he can remove trading traditions.
Yes, and getting rid of that orange will be helpful as well.
While we know that he has motivational speech in hand.
Well, still, it's true.
He doesn't.
Yeah, and breakdown being there is going to, well, he does still do the cover to cover.
He does have tender taps and singing barrel. I think he's thinking about that.
Does he have enough AT for that?
He needs 5. Yeah, he goes for the stick. Wow, that's a very lucky flip.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least he can't use the stick again this turn.
And he can get his Fernando back.
Yeah. He can get... Oh, that's right, yeah, because it's not bottom card anymore.
Okay, looks like we're about to score our first point.
Indeed.
Wait, I think it's his second point since he confronted once with Factory Jack and Hooves, I believe. I think the correct play here is to just unfrighten breakdown and dismiss hooves.
I think so as well.
And he has 7 AT. Damn, he's not playing purple. He has more AT than the purple deck that got Factory Jack and cover to cover. I think that's impressive.
That is pretty good, yeah. And that's in spite of look at all the stuff he's got in play. So yeah, get rid of hooves. Mm-hmm. Now the thing is, do you think I didn't catch it, but do you think that friend Celestia, when he used hooves, he put tender taps back
I'm
on
not
top?
sure what
I
he
guess
put on top, but I think what Stueck should have done is to challenge Mimics with breakdown, frighten breakdowns, so that he can get Fernando back if he gets hooves back.
Good point.
He moves Lyra to Trixie. Another follow my lead. And bait and switch.
Switch on mimics, I assume. Yeah. So he's got access to his orange now. He doesn't care as much. That is monster stack?
I don't remember what it does.
Oh, that's the pink orange one. Geez, yeah, I don't remember what that does either. I assume you're looking it up right now.
Indeed. Oh, so when this card is confronted, you draw a card and opponent discards a card. And it doesn't matter who actually confronts it.
Right. So bait and switch does have to go to home limit because Lyra is still unflipped.
And that's a grubber, I believe.
I think so. Stick targeting. Well, it's got to be. Tough call, actually.
That's follow my lead.
Did target breakdown. That's fair, I guess.
Oh no, there's still grubber in his hand. I'm not sure which troublemaker that is now. Then. Might be just a second grubber.
Yeah, who knows? It's going to be interesting, actually, because this pink-orange deck doesn't really have, so far as I know, a way of dealing with troublemakers particularly well. He does, as per usual, he does have to score his points at some point.
Well, bait and switch. It's
Oh yeah,
one
bait and
way.
switch. Yeah, well that works. Yeah.
But I think that's his only way to deal with them. And fight, of course. So I believe he played grubber and another troublemaker.
Looks like it. Yeah. I suppose a smart cookie works just as well if he's got a huge discard pile.
True. But not really against Chaos Control because they just flip Fernando. And other bad things.
Yeah, that's one thing that you can say about Chaos Control. They definitely want you to be trying to deal with the troublemakers by challenging them, because more face-offs is better for them.
Indeed. It's funny that this particular deck is actually good against Chaos Control because it has so many friends exhausting. Like Chaos Control rounds on friends that exhaust.
Indeed. Cover to cover now gone?
Yeah, it's kinda rough for Chaos Control right now.
Does still have his orange at least.
And
so
troublemakers.
Yeah. Lyra passing.
So that's a grubber.
So yeah, there's grubber.
Actually, both of the troublemakers uncover, so they have to show.
The troublemakers do uncover before the triggers process. We know that.
So what is... I think Bailout is the... Maybe not, since he has Mimics.
Now that he has Mimics again.
Smart Cookie might be a good option. Berry Punch, I'm not sure. Berry Punch doesn't really do anything against Chaos Control.
Yeah, especially when he's already got a way of dealing with most of the important
Still
friends.
goes for it.
Sure, I guess so.
Oh, I see Desert Road. I think he's going for Tender Taps and like for barrels and Tender Taps.
Right. Spending 2? No.
Okay, using stick.
Sure.
Ooh, Mysterious Disappearance and stick is the only resource in play.
Oh man, that is a real shame.
Yeah, that hurts.
Lyra gets a gift from Chaos Control's own deck.
But that's the risk you take when you use stick in Chaos Control without stacking your top deck.
Mm-hmm. As to the face-off itself, well, Bailout, then he's definitely gonna win.
Yeah, he still has he still can play events.
Yes, Mimics hasn't kicked in yet. Now it is back on.
Our little paper notifying events is back. Yeah, opponent getting 2 breakdowns and was bad enough, and just Mysterious Disappearance just rubs it in.
Mm-hmm. But again, it's worth pointing out that he has a few points and Stueck doesn't yet. So
Yeah.
we assume that's going to change. That move is going to Traveler. It's going to bring 2 Follow My Leads back into his hand.
He drew Big Mac and Applejack, I think.
What it looks like, yeah.
There's Smart Cookie. Yeah, I think he's setting up for a face-off.
That is a play to get rid of Mimics for sure.
So that's Selena Blue. He can play her, and that lets him stack his deck, so... I would assume that's what you want to do here. Just get Selena Blue out.
Probably, yeah. Gives you at least something to do.
The problem is Selena Blue gets removed right away.
Yeah. He's drawing instead.
I wonder what he's looking for.
Yeah, he already has a barrel in hand. Looking for a Factory Jack would be worth something.
Yeah, Factory Jack, unlike other ET gens, can actually dodge breakdown.
Mm-hmm. Just have to make sure that you do it at the start of your opponent's score phase, I think, is the correct time. Yeah. Alrighty. 3-5 against 6.
I see Magicite, so Oh, he flipped Magicite as well.
Okay.
Well, I think that settles it. He just moves Smart Cookie and... I wonder why did he move Heaven by not Smart Cookie?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, he does know that he has the Magicite in hand, so if Stueck banishes a bunch of cards, then he'll play the Magicite. And yeah.
well, he still went for a loss. He could just move things back. That's
He
an
could.
option.
Yep.
He passes instead.
All right. Just gonna hope for something a little bit more bulletproof, as it were. He Celestia does pick up a Factory Jack off the draw.
He was looking at his discard pile.
Yeah, thinking of Tender Taps, as you say, probably.
I mean, with Selena Blue in current situation, you can probably set up Tender Taps on top of your deck. Since the opponent is not going to challenge Mimics next turn, he can play Selena Blue and use her in his score phase. And then put Tender Taps as the second card. Okay, that's motivational speech.
Speech for pink.
I think it's gonna be pink.
Well, he already has orange from Train Tradition, so I can only imagine that's what he's doing.
Oh, he had to retire Smart Cookie to the home limit.
That's right, yep.
He just went away.
Hmm.
And he's back.
I believe he passed.
Yeah, I believe he passed and just had to go away for a little bit.
Sure. So if you're Stueck, I know that he's thinking of how does he score a point.
That's a stick.
Did he just pass again?
Yeah, he just passed.
Okay.
So stick certainly does help here.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he gets another Fernando, it will be great. I also don't know, does his Chaos Control run Opalescence? If it does, he can also get rid of a Vinyl that way. Opalescence is the one that has Chaos Effect,
Yeah.
banish a friend with 2 or less power.
Yeah. So that barrel is going to be for white, probably, for the Tender Taps. Yep, there you go.
Yep, and that's a Hooves.
Gets Hooves back. Right? And then Hooves fishes a card back for him, and stick. This is going to be Magicite back, I think?
Yep. I would play Factory Jack.
Yeah, there's no reason not to, especially with who's covering for her right now.
And there's factory checks.
Okay.
Or not. Oh, he needed to put the card on top first.
Sure, yeah. Factory Jack, I believe, is at the bottom problem. It's a little spread out there.
Mm-hmm. He decided to exhaust her right away.
Yep, which I think that Stueck has to take out hooves first. So, like, this time it's okay, unless he has his third breakdown in hand.
Selena. So if he gets Fernando, I see changing crown, I believe.
Yeah, throwing hooves. Something else.
Not sure what he put on top though. Well, we're about to find out.
I suppose so.
Another tender taps, makes sense.
Sure. That was a good turn for him. I mean, sure, Stewart can whittle down that holding again by just slowly taking stuff away, but every turn that he confronts and scores a point, that's another point that, well...
Oh, he decides to use Who's right away.
Fair enough.
Yeah, at this point there's another exhausted hoof, so might as well use this one. And he confronts, I think.
He should. Those factory jacks are stubborn after all, so he's looking at 2, 4, 6, or 7, something like that.
He needs 8. I think he has 8. He has 10, I believe. 3 from tender taps, 3 from hooves, and 4 from 2 factory jacks.
Yeah. Hooves is stubborn too. Jeez, I forgot about that. His opponent does have 10 AT though.
So this was quite a turn. He went from 0 board to a lot of board.
Indeed. Tender taps will do that.
So what do you remove here? Selena Blue or Hooves?
Jeez, it's tough.
I think he played belly flop for 4.
No, he exhausted belly flop to apple bloom. Now he's slipping his Lyra.
I see Big Mac.
Big Mac is probably worth it. If you play Big Mac, then you probably take out... Jeez, I don't know. It's still hard. You have to get rid of Hooves and Selena both. But which one goes first? I'm not sure.
I think Selena, because unlike Hooves, she can be exhausted immediately.
Yeah.
Which makes her harder to kill later.
Yeah, Hooves, I guess, is a cycling card. Selena is helpful for finding new stuff too.
Yep, and unlike Hooves, she basically draws your card. Okay, that's Mimic's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Haystack. It's a shame he can't play Bait and Switch on Trixie.
Well, he can play it and replace Trixie's problem.
He can't.
I think that Bait and Switch is just when it enters play, you may replace a problem.
Yes, but when you play Friend or Trixie, they lose their abilities earlier than that happens.
But I mean the bait and switch doesn't have to be played to the problem that you're replacing.
Yeah, but my point was that you can't play bait and switch on Trixie, so you can fight Trixie later.
Oh, that way. Well, sure, that's fair.
Okay, so Hooves, Selena Blue. With two Hooves, he might eventually get to Fernando, which is...
Yeah, that's the thing.
Factory Jack, huh?
Well, all right, that works too.
Okay, here's the Big Mac.
Does get rid of the stick, which removes Celestia's ability to start face-offs whenever he wants.
Okay, he confronts his first point.
Mm-hmm.
And puts a power counter on bait and switch.
Yes, that is correct.
Which is, I suppose, a good target for power counter because all other friends are already threats on their own.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Apple Bloom, Breakdown, they're all going to get exhausted, so not much point in putting power counters on them.
And Heaven Bay is already at 5 power, or 4 power by herself.
So, Celestia is gone through 2 sticks now. Seems unlikely to find another one, although, as we say, Selena can get through the deck pretty quick. Or, well, actually she can't. But...
No, why? She can?
Well, she draws you 3, but you put 2 back, right? And then if you use her again...
Yeah, but if you flip those cards...
Yeah.
So I guess he really needs a troublemaker to force some flips without stick.
Yeah. Well, now that he's got... Like, he can fight Trixie himself if he wants to start a face-off.
True. Tender taps.
Probably getting back the Factory Jack now.
I probably would not spend tender taps on that because now that then there's no mimics, all the belly flops are going to be played. I mean, we saw him discard 1, but there's still 2 more.
This is an interesting game so far. There's definitely a swing that Stueck can still pull out, as you say. If his events get unblocked and then suddenly he plays a bunch of belly flops or whatever.
I see Mysterious Disappearance. Good against Pirate Ship.
Mm-hmm.
Bad against your own sticks.
Yeah, Chaos Control might be the deck where you do leave the Singing Barrel out sometimes, just so that you have another target for Mysterious Disappearance.
Yeah, but generally you don't want to take the gamble.
Okay, it looks like we missed a put on top of the deck from a Hooves again here.
But he didn't exhaust his hooves.
I think he did. We're just trying to rewind it here. Because he definitely drew from the bottom, I know that.
No.
And this is tricky because Stueck shouldn't see what those cards going on top of the deck are, but we just want to make sure that the one that goes on first isn't the one that he drew off the second hooves.
Yeah. It often makes this so complicated when you want to put your second to bottom card on the second to top.
Yeah.
With Selena, that's not much of an issue though. Like, he can just rearrange them as he needs.
Yeah, as necessary.
So we see two tender taps in play. I think the good play for Lyra here is to just remove hoofses, because it's not very likely for him to get another tender taps and put it on top of the deck and start to face off to flip it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
and without hoofses, Chaos Control can't really do its thing. Ooh, another breakdown.
Another breakdown. Well, there you go. Now he's going to start power dismissing stuff.
I wonder why he still goes for factory jacks though. Like, I would totally remove all the hoofses now.
Perhaps he sees the game going on longer and wants to cut into Chaos Control's resources.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, factory jack is still a really good target. Okay, he confronts once more.
Mm-hmm. Power counter. Do you put it on Haven Bay for the draw? Yes.
It's been a very interesting game so far.
Does he... Celestia has speech and barrel in play, does he not?
Yes.
So Big Mac should be eating them, should he? Right?
He could, yeah. But he doesn't. But I mean, it makes sense to, like, I guess it makes sense is not the correct term here. But people do often forget about Big Macs after they use them for the thing they wanted to use them.
After they, use them for the first time, yeah. So unfortunately, I've kind of lost count of how many points our Chaos Control player has.
I think he has only 3 points.
Okay. That's still very manageable.
So they're 2 to 3 now, but he has photo finish.
Ooh, interesting. I mean, not particularly useful at the moment, but interesting.
I see
certainly.
Mimics as well. What is happening? I think he's challenging Trixie.
Yeah, he's challenging his own Trixie. Mysterious Disappearance has to hit the pirate ship.
Okay, hooves to get Mysterious back.
Mm-hmm.
He again drew another card from the
Yeah,
bottom.
he again drew before he put the second one on. And they caught it, yep.
That mimics.
Is that it then? All right, yeah, that's the pass. Stueck now, once again, has his pick. He's going to be able to get rid of 2 things this turn.
And I think
Now I guess you clean up the hooves, right?
Yeah. Could be one Who's, one Selena Blue. Because now Mysterious disappears at his bottom, so it doesn't really... Like, Hooves doesn't do a whole lot with that.
Mm-hmm. And I believe he just noticed his Big Mac as well.
Oh yeah. Well, he may use it now.
As he desires, yes?
He has 2 more Big Macs in his hand.
Now, this is a situation where you do have to be a little bit cautious as Stueck on that Troublemaker. We know it's a Mimics, but
Yeah, it might
could
be a
very
Villain.
easily be a Trixie. Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw... I think I saw at least 2 Trixies in his deck. Okay, he decides to get rid of Hooves, which makes sense. He moves Bait and Switch to Trixie.
Okay. Plus
His
one
cards
power
all on the
counters are, of course, unaffected by Trixie, so Bait and Switch is still 4 power over there.
Yep. Another... I think it's the Big Mac.
Okay. So that Big Mac, of course, will not eat a resource this turn.
Okay, he confronts.
Hmm?
He confronts. Hopefully. There's still Magicides going around.
Yeah. Magicite, Haven Bay, yes.
So if that was indeed a Villain, would you move someone with Magicite to stop a confront?
Good question. Good point. He does still confront. Gives the power counter to Brayburn. Or to Haven Bay, rather?
Yeah, I think it was to Haven Bay.
Yeah. Further card draw, why not? And remember to eat a resource. There we go. It's quite a lot of power counters. More than we saw the first time when this deck was on stream.
I mean, thanks to the problem mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's Mimics.
A little unfortunate, actually, that Selena is the card left, because that is certainly capable of setting up something bad if he challenges that Mimics.
Yeah, but if he uses Selena, she gets removed. Oh, or that.
Oh, that works too. Yep.
So yeah, now he can't use Selena, and he can remove her next turn with Breakdown, so I think that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And we see a Fernando in his hand, so he just denied him a Fernando.
Good call. And just like that, Tempest is back to basically no board again.
Yep.
Plays the throne, or no?
I mean, Throne is an okay option here to score some
Well,
points.
Throne, it's going to get eaten by Big Mac.
Oh, right, there's Big Mac. I forgot about him. Yeah, Big Mac is a strong card if you can't get rid of him.
For sure, yeah.
You're not going to play resources ever. I think he just passed.
Passed. Now this time the tender taps are gone, so not sure how Tempest recovers from this. Events, of course.
I believe he still has one more tender taps in his deck and one more hooves, so
yeah.
But it's gonna be hard to come back from this.
Draw was another follow my lead, so he's got flavor, but of course he has to choose to challenge first.
I would choose Trixie probably. I don't think it matters that much. Ooh. Well, Mysterious Disappearance doesn't do anything.
It's true, it doesn't.
But he does win the face-off. Because Mysterious Disappearance is only 3 power, and Gobber as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Magicite?
Magicite would do it. Yep. Not sure what they're thinking about right now. Unless he's trying to figure out who to move.
Big Mac has most of the power.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense to move him. But other than that, I don't think that matters much.
Or perhaps there was an irregularity that we both missed.
Yeah, but like this game state currently is not that complex. I'm not sure what we could have missed.
Well, you're right, Big Mac's getting moved.
So he's at 9 against 5 plus 4. 9. Oh, they're tied, I believe.
Oh, they're tied. Okay.
Okay, Brabern and photo finish. He wins that. The Chaos Control player it is, Celestia.
That's right. Yep.
This game has been going on for a while.
It's true. I must imagine they're getting close to the soft time limit now.
I think only 1 hour passed, so not that long.
Oh, maybe not, yeah.
I think they'll have time for the second game, but if that's tied, it'd be funny to see them start another game and then the like the sudden death hits in and it basically who confronts first.
Mm-hmm. So now he's fighting Trixie.
Party of 1. Well, that's a card he needs, but I didn't expect to see it in Chaos Control. He would love Party of 1 right now in his hand.
That is true. And that's going to be good for a win again. Alrighty, to main phase. Get rid of Selena. It's happening for sure, I assume.
Mm-hmm. I think I see another bait and switch, so he could get rid of Mimics that way. And that'll be the last Mimics. Yep.
There you go, yep. Did he play that to home? Oh, yes.
Yeah, Trixie.
That's the only place to, play it, basically.
So I think now you move Heaven base, she just confronts that by herself. And draws you a card.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still like a big home limit issue. Okay, that's all in the blue.
He only has 1 AT left, though, eh? So he can't actually move anything right now.
What did he spend AC on?
Well, he played bait and switch.
Yeah, but that costs 2. Oh yeah, they're gaining only 3 AC per turn.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. It's...
Ooh, that's rough. Yeah, we're still at 3 and 3 points. So I assume, like, as a meta play for the Chaos Control player, it would be better to concede now and get a rematch, and then hit the soft time limit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think he's coming back from this, and he could just squeeze one more win in the next round.
Could be, yeah. You're right. I don't see there's any real way for him to build a board up anymore.
Maybe he has another patio one. What's happening? He's clapping.
Something funny.
Okay, he did what?
It looks like a concession, yeah.
And that was the stream again. Why do I keep losing streams at the end and start of the games? I mean, it's better than during the games, but...
Yeah, it's better than during the game, that's for sure.